I spent all day in Cornwall, which is about an hour and a half from here or so, like east-ish. I don't know. It's on the way to Montreal. There's a sign for Montreal on the way to Cornwall. Um, and I was in Cornwall because I was coaching the U14 girls team that I coach every week. We were at a tournament. This is our first tournament. Yeah. So it was super interesting to watch the girls because obviously being in a game situation is very different than being in practice. And it was the first time that I'd seen them in a game with other people. So learned a lot for sure. One of the biggest things that I learned, and something that is not exactly a new lesson for me, but something that I have to continue to remind myself, is that it's important to, let me back up. Watching the girls, there was a lot of times when they were hesitant to make a move or play a ball or something like that. And a lot of it is they're just sort of learning what to do in different situations, and the ball is moving quite fast for them, and they have to make decisions very quickly. But sometimes you can see them make a decision and they go to do something and then they stop, or they hesitate, or they somehow second guess themselves on this decision that they've made and they don't just go for it. And I understand where that comes from, especially in volleyball. I have certainly done this, where you make a choice, or it's not even a conscious choice so much as it's a reaction, and then you go for it, and then your conscious brain takes over and goes, oh, wait a second, maybe that wasn't the best idea. And so you stop, or you hesitate, and then you sort of end up with like two girls going for a ball, but then they don't, and they kind of look at each other, and then the ball drops between them. And so this is not limited to just 14-year-old girls. This happens all the way up to adults, less so in the college and professional levels, but certainly it's not isolated to that age group. And I see this not just in volleyball, but everywhere. Like in business, when I see clients that are telling me like, oh, I've met this person, like I do this one thing, like maybe I'm a real estate agent, or I sell calculators, crayons, I sell these dealies, colored pencils. I sell these colored pencils and I'm doing really great and I'm getting all these clients, and I just met somebody who is going to help me to do my like admin work. And I'm like, great, you should definitely hire them. And they're like, yeah, I'm also going to partner with them. We're going to offer admin services as part of our colored pencil business. And I have to just like, why? Why are you doing that? What is it about administrative work that feels like it's a good partner in selling colored pencils? And like, I'll give you that there's a little bit of overlap there, maybe, but it's not the same business, and then they're not really related. So those, like, maybe it's a good idea, maybe, but it feels like it's kind of outside of what the company does. So I try to tell my clients, just focus on the one thing that you do. Do it well and be an expert in that one thing. Because as soon as you think you've made a mistake, or you choose a direction and you do it for like a couple weeks, and then your brain sort of gets freaked out and you think, oh, maybe I've made the wrong choice, and then you like stop, then it's the same thing as the girls today, where they stop and then the ball drops like just in front of you. And if you had just kept going, you just stuck to your commitment, stuck to your idea, or stuck to whatever it is, you would have got to the ball. You would have got there. And I I try to do this very much in my life, especially in volleyball, but also in business where I do one thing. I offer one service. I mean, it's a pretty comprehensive service and there's a lot of things within that one service, but I offer one thing and that's it. And I think that's really important. I think it's important to commit to something and just see it through. Now, I'm not saying that like if you commit to something and then it turns out it's not really working, that you should continue to commit to that thing. But I do think that you should give it at least like 3 to 6 months, depending on the kind of decision that you've made, to decide whether it's working or not, instead of just stopping and falling short of the ball, falling short of your goal or seeing it through or seeing what it really could become. So lesson learned from today hasn't really been learned because I've been trying to learn this for a long time, but see it through and like commit to it and do it. Don't second guess yourself and think, oh, this isn't working because it's been a week or it's been a couple weeks or it's been a month and this isn't working and so I need to change direction. Maybe you haven't given it enough time. So maybe it's just a matter of waiting on it, continuing to put effort into it and put your energy into it and making it work. I'd love to know what it is that you're thinking about right now, that in your business you're like, oh man, I could be doing this right now. Let's talk about it. Let's make a list together of all the things that you could be doing right now, and we'll just put it on our little list of ideas, and then we won't do them. We'll put it on a list. I find like if I write down an idea, I'm like, oh, I have this idea for like a business or something like that, then I write it down, then that's almost enough. Like I don't have to actually do it. I can just write it down. And then at least it's in a place where I can go back to it at some point. It's not like gone. It's just like, oh, this is in my little idea holding place for now. So let's make a little idea holding place. What's a thing that you're thinking about right now or that you might want to do in the future? I'd love to hear it. I'll see you tomorrow.